Good morning to you. It's been a little while since I uploaded a video, so I'm just doing this one to keep you happy for a while till I can find something more interesting for you to watch. I was in the radio and TV trade for many years, and as a service engineer you sort of use all your senses to find out why something's gone wrong. I mean, apart from meters and this sort of thing, you use your eyes, ears. I've said this before, and you adopt a sort of Sherlock Holmes come detective way of thinking, and this has always been the way I've acted. Things have a cause and effect, and you tend to think around things, and this can often help you, and I've always thought that. So what's this quick little video about? Well, I'll give you an example. Home was built in 1930s, and the plumbing arrangement in that period means open gullies, and here we have a plastic trough just covering up the exposed drain, if you like. But I noticed going shopping that there's all this dirt on the wall. Obviously it's plashed up there from the trough, so I thought, oh dear, what's happened there? Has the gutter gone? So I looked up there, and as you can see, there's no joints in the gutter, but yep, you spotted it, we've got an overflow pipe. Oh, I think we'd better investigate that. Okay, well, as you probably have guessed, looking in the loft, the ball valve was sort of semi-submerged, or pretty much submerged, and the actual valve itself, terrible condition, was leaking badly, hence the water build-up that came over the overflow. As I say, this is an old fitting, it's probably 1930s fitting, you can see the condition of it. So I thought, shall I take it apart, clean it up? That's the little washer end that seals when the lever goes across, and I thought, no, it's not worth taking a risk with such old stuff. And when I come to take the pin out that the lever works, there's the remains of the little pin. You'll see that probably on there better, it's completely brown. I mean, this is a brass pin, but it's been de-zinctified, and if this had collapsed and that had dropped into the tank, this would have just continued, and if they hadn't have been there, perhaps the overflow wouldn't have coped at full blast, and we could have had a tank come through the ceiling. So it was worthwhile taking notice of that soil on the brickwork, wasn't it? In an effort to undo this and take this away, it wouldn't shift, and it's difficult to get at it. And the actual fitting, the actual fitting that goes through the tank, which I've cut there, look. The actual fitting that goes through the tank wouldn't undo only this amount because of all the crud and what have you, and it just seized. Rather than cause any distress to all the old pipe work and everything else, I didn't want to bang it about too much, so I held this with a pair of mole grips, and with a junior hacksaw cut that in half so I could take this off. So I went to the plumbing merchants and bought a new system, and I've fitted it now, and I'm quite happy, peace of mind, and it's all working absolutely fine. I think the whole lot cost me about £7, and an hour and a half's work. So, you know, it's a little less something to worry about. And all this came about by noticing some soil up on the brickwork. On the way back from the plumbers, I was waiting at with the new fittings. I was waiting at the traffic lights, and the traffic lights went green, and all the traffic moved off. And I was about to move off, and some young woman walked straight in front of me, looking at a phone in her hand, completely oblivious to what was going on around her. Well, it's a good job I was awake, otherwise she wouldn't be sort of chasing Japanese mythical creatures in the street. She'd be looking out for those that were white, had wings and played harps. Absolutely ridiculous. What is the matter with people with these phones? I've got a phone. Someone said, you want to get yourself a smartphone. I said, that is a smartphone. He said, no, it's not. I said, it's very smart. I said, it's pay as you go. I put 20 quid on it, about 4 or 5 years ago, and I think I got most of it left. How smart can you get? But these things, how many people have died through phones? In car accidents and God knows, we see it all the time. It's crazy. Coming out of the supermarket, you see all these middle-aged women, usually, pushing a trolley with one hand, the phone clamped to their head with the other one, waffling away more than I do. Absolute verbal diarrhea. Goodness gracious. Anyway, I better leave this subject because I don't think there's too many that's going to agree with me. Certainly not the younger ones anyway. Move on! While still in investigation mode, this is the brass plaque that's on the head of my Colchester lathe. It says, do not change speed while running. Well, I'll show you why that's the case in a minute. I've had this many years. Can't tell you how many years. It's been a faithful old lathe. But at high speed, or the highest speed, tends to be a bit noisy. And if we look at the, if I can pan in, if we look at the sight glass, come on camera, if we look at the sight glass there, it might just show it, might not. Yes it does. It says oil level, can you see that? And we can see that the oil has dropped to there. Well, I haven't topped this up ever since I've had it. So it wouldn't be a bad idea to investigate that. I don't think it's leaking, but over many years it will evaporate and general weep and so forth. So we'll put some oil in it, and the stopper on the top here, where you fill the oil in, says use Shell Tellus 41, which is what they recommended. So we'll find something like that, or the equivalent to it. And we'll find out just what the condition of this headstock is. So I'm now going to do some clever arrangements with the camera, if I can, and see if I can get a shot of actually what's going on with the mechanism here. I haven't quite worked out how to get the camera over the top of this for a minute, but we'll carry on. This casting is held on by 9 hex bolts, 3 short, 3 long and 3 short. And I've removed these, and providing I don't drop this heavy casting on my foot, let's see if I can give you an insight. Now, how do I get the camera over? Well, this is the best I can do, guys. The camera's propped up on the Hoover and other things. This is the gearbox. This is the main spline. This is high and low speeds on the main mandrel, which is 1 3/4 inch hollow, so I can put material through the mandrel. And the gears are changed here. And as you can see, they're all straight cut gears, hence, you know, there's no synchro mesh, so the lathe must be stopped before you engage this ratio of gears. There is a lot more of this gearing below this. I cannot show you because I've got no means of holding the camera and getting the light in there at the same time. But it gives you an inkling. This is British engineering at its absolute finest. It really is. And you can see the action of going around oil is pulled up on these, and it's all nice and clean, so it just simply wants topping up. Anyway, if you've never seen in the side of the headstock of a culture lathe before, well, you have now. As well as the main gearbox, we have the threads gearbox, operated by levers. Back the other way. And this too has a sight glass here. That's fully up to its mark, and we can change various ratios, metric, imperial, and so forth, and select how many threads per inch on this arrangement. And this too is held on by set screws, or hex screws should I say. And I should be able to take that out. That's it. And if I move the camera up a bit and down, you may, or you may not. I'll hold it, okay? I'll hold the camera. It's a dog clutch for engaging the, does it show? Yes, you can see it does show, just pan back a wee bit. For driving the lead screw, and we can change various gears here, and then if the camera will show it, I move just about in the middle there, you might be able to see it, is where we can engage different gears with different threads per inch. Probably not easy to show, but again, beautifully engineered. This end of the lathe, this casting, is held on by two of these. I've removed the bottom one as I've had to shift that cabinet over there. And we'll see if we can take this off. And I'll show you this part. It says he. It's heavy. Here we go. Come on. Come on. Got you. Here we go. Right, put that down there. Well, you can see what we've got here. This is our main mandrel through here. This drives this gearbox to enable our threads to be selected. And here we have two belts, I don't know if you can see it there, but we have two drive belts going through a clutched brake mechanism, which is worked on that lever by pushing it down. So that's this end of the lathe. Wants a good clean up, but very pleased with it. Well, hopefully I've given you an insight as to why I like these build quality of these old machines. You just simply don't get this now. They're usually all tin and so forth. Not so on this little booty. In 1984 I got this book, 600 Group. This was given away, try not to make it dirty. This was given away, all about the company, and over the years, you know, 150 years anniversary of the 600 Group. They gave this away to the general public at a fair. This was in 1984. Can you see companies giving that sort of thing away today? Best you can hope for is some www.com arrangement. I think I'll end this video at this point. Nostalgia has taken over. Anyway, I'll keep you going for a little bit, guys. I'll see what I can come up for you next time.